I like press
Now there should be sound, motherfuckers.
There we go.
sound? Oh,
Let
get
me
the
confirm
sound.
that really quick though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I had it just set up to mute
Yeah.
as
You
like
noob.
a little motherfucker.
You.
So here we are. I've
I'm
I
gonna
was
just start.
talking. I
I'm
was
gonna
talking.
start drawing, but just go ahead and keep talking.
Right, we were dropping some industry bombs and like it was all muted.
God
So
damn, dude. Good thing you didn't let that shit out.
right. So
Nah, just kidding. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's
so
start over.
basically speaking, I'm not gonna look at chat by the way, guys. We have John here, who's going to do all the awesomeness of
Oh no,
looking
it's
through the chat, and then another John who's here to actually paint. So
oh
this was long coming. I think we wanted to set it up about a year ago, I believe, and there's something came up and we couldn't, and then I couldn't, and then what the fuck happened? But here we are. I mean, people were asking to have you on and talk with you and get
man.
to know you a little better because you're a celebrity,
What?
and I've always enjoyed looking at your art. Always enjoyed seeing what you're producing. For
Yeah.
those who don't know, we're actually talking with Joan Park, the one and only.
The one and only, the one out of like 700 other Koreans named John Park. Um, yeah, dude,
Exactly.
it's like the most common generic fucking like your Asian parents will just name you John Park. It's like it's like so generic, dude. It's the same as like John Smith. It's hilarious, dude. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, when I was in school, there was like 36 of us, dude. I was
36 Joan Parks
yeah.
in one school.
Yeah. There's 36 recorded at Art Center.
That must have been fucking
It
confusing.
was fucking amazing. Well, because I'm the only one that had a number to my name, so I was like, "What the hell is this like Matrix bullshit? Like, why do I have a number?" But dude, it was a trip, man. There's a lot
Well,
of stuff.
here you are, though, the one and only, the one recognizable. If you type in Joan Park, the first thing that comes is a doctor.
Yeah, and a
But if
doctor
you,
and American Idol. There's American Idol.
oh really?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
yeah. He's better
But then
looking.
after,
Uh,
it's you.
then after,
At least when you add art. Well, there's
yeah.
another artist.
No, there's another artist. He's pretty badass. Like
Yeah.
he puts me to shame, man. He's actually really good. He actually does real art.
Yeah, he actually
paints,
does real art, unlike you.
Unlike me, I just
Just
photobash.
working for film, making concept art is just not a real work.
Not real, not
Just
real
admit
stuff.
it. So how have you been, dude? How have you been going?
I've been good, man. I've been just working, running brainstorm with Mr. James Pake.
That's another person we're gonna have on this
Yeah, he's
beautiful
awesome.
podcast here.
He's rad, man. But yeah, just been working and working at Lightstorm with a few of the guys that you probably did one with Fausto.
Oh, of course, yeah,
Yeah,
Fausto and some
badass.
other badasses there. The
Yeah.
dream team.
Straight up freaking 3D designer art god. Um, and yeah, man, working with guys like Steve Messing, Dylan Cole, Ben Proctor, and these other guys, you guys should definitely look up, Jonathan Bach and John Berube.
Yeah, I mean I know both.
Yeah,
Pretty
dude.
well. I mean
Holy
Jonathan.
shit.
Jonathan just briefly. I met him a while ago over at DreamWorks. Just like said hi and whatnot. John Berube. Yeah, that guy is Jonathan Berube. Is fucking awesome. He
dude.
was actually helping me out with the photo shoot we did
Oh yeah.
for Jingna's artistic photography. Yeah,
Oh,
he
man,
was
dude, that
super
guy-
helpful.
That guy's like
is awesome.
That guy's like an encyclopedia, man. Like I'm just like him and Steve Messing, dude. They have so much fucking knowledge. I'm like, what? What are you guys talking? At times, I'm just nodding my head, pretending like I understand what they're saying, but I don't. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, whatever's man, whatever you're, yeah, that's cool. Um, But yeah,
I think I want to get. I mean, I know I've been talking with Jonathan a while ago. I might ask him again. Maybe get him on a podcast as well.
yeah.
Be really
He's
good.
he's such a knowledgeable guy, man. Um, but yeah, what else, man? I don't know. It's a blur, dude. It's kind of just working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
How
what's
about
up?
you guys?
So just to interrupt this conversation, we added Eden Guraziu to the call. What the fuck is going on?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey man,
Hello.
how's it going? Because I
Pretty
saw
good.
you guys,
Work.
you and John, you Eden and John had really sexy conversation going on Facebook, and I figured, you know what, maybe you want to continue it here, just in front of the public.
Ooh.
Pew pew talk.
Oh my God. Pew pew
talk.
pew to the motherfucking pew. Dude.
Exactly. Yeah, nice to meet you, John. I haven't spoken
Dude.
to you before.
Oh my God, your voice is sexual, man. It's
Oh, thanks so much.
good to know that your voice matches your other sexy stuff.
Exactly. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Really nice to meet you. Really nice to meet
Oh
you.
yeah, same. You guys are live or? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I'm
awesome.
still breeding, so.
No, I mean like live.
Oh yes,
Captain.
oh yes, of
Oh,
course.
perfect.
Yes.
Nice.
No, everyone is listening to this awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's getting
Conversation.
more awkward and more awkward, but
Yeah,
that's
I feel like
fine.
this is retarded.
Well, feel free to hang out as long as you want, Eden.
Definitely.
you're
Thanks for
welcome
having me, guys. It's fun.
welcome to be here and chip in anytime you like. I have a
And-
question to you, John, because we started a conversation talking about you working with badasses and pretty much art gods. How is this experience for you? I mean, I understand this experience myself. I've been working with some really interesting folks out there,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like really humbling and really interesting to see what other high caliber artists are doing in the industry,
Oh,
especially the ones that you don't really know that well and never heard about. And then you meet them and you see what they do and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man, dude. Tell me about it. Like, you know what's funny? Like, there's the Facebook world of artists that we know or that we're constantly reminded of, and then there's like these fucking badasses that you'll never hear about. And they just do their thing. They just come into work and they destroy it and then they go home.
Yeah.
And those are guys like seriously like Steve Messing, Dylan Cole, and Ben Proctor. I mean, you and I know them, but I'm sure like the other guys on the forums like or on the internet, they don't really, you ask them like, oh, do you know who they are? And some might know, but others probably don't know who they are.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, unless you really scout for artists outside of ArtStation and forums where you just kind of like go through credits of films and like, oh, who worked on that film or who worked
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
you get to see what's going on there, and and I remember I think I saw Band's work right at the time Prometheus was coming out. Or actually no, it was earlier than that, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was like a kick in the butt. I was like, fuck, you can do that? Like,
Yeah,
you can
dude,
do
he's
that kind of
insane.
art.
I just didn't understand it. I was like, what am I looking at, dude? This is crazy. Just the level of work is like, what?
Yeah.
I just couldn't, like, my little brain had a hard time understanding that shit, man. It was that like fucking advanced. And yeah, I started working with Ben and Dylan. It's been a little over, I think like 2.5 years. I started the
It's a
same
long time, dude.
Started the same time Fausto did.
Now I'm like looking back. Yeah, it's been really that long time.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. And oh my god, it was definitely a scary experience for me because I mean obviously like getting to work with those guys are awesome, but just the amount of work and the caliber that they demand was just like I was not used to that,
Right.
I'm still reminded of that like every day. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? These guys are fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, but you're a badass too, so
No, dude. No, man. No. This is like me drawing gay cowboys ain't badass. This is like they do real stuff, you know? Um, but yeah, like
you're being too humble.
no,
Trust
dude.
me.
It was really. I mean, you know, like it's like when I was like, you know, in this like my little circle of like artists, you know, like you get comfortable, you know, like you're kind of like, oh yeah, dude, I know where I stand, and I know what I can produce. Um, but when I was like next to guys like Steve Messing, and he's doing like all this crazy ass shit in like Octane, and same with Dylan. Dylan just does like matte painting concepts, like it just looks like fucking real life.
Yeah.
It's retarded. I'm like, I didn't even think
He
like
used to be he used to be primarily I think he started as a matte painter, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember first time seeing his work was the Lord of the Rings, and
Okay.
him. There was
So-
this whole crew of him, Dussault, and all the other folks.
So guys like Dylan, I honestly, when I met him, I was like, oh, dude, he's so established. He must be in his like 40s, right? I literally thought that. And when I found out how young he was, I was like, holy shit, how old are you? Wait, what?
15?
Dude,
Wow.
he's like, yeah, like 20, 23 years old. No, just kidding. He's like in his mid 30s, man. He's mid 30s, and he's like,
Yeah, he's
fucking,
insane.
it's like production designing and doing all this crazy shit. Where, you know, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, dude. When I'm like 40, maybe 48, 50, I may be able to do that one day. Um, and he told me about like his I guess like Lord of the Rings experience, and when he started, he was in his 20s, dude. The guy
Yeah,
was
it's
like
insane.
21 or something, and he was like a lead, or like lead mat, or like a senior map painter or something. You know, I you know, don't quote me. I'm probably got it all incorrect, but it
No,
was
you're not far off. I believe.
yeah, dude.
I remember, seeing his work when I was starting. It was like, how on earth you're able to do that?
Yeah, right. I was like, what the hell am I looking at, dude? Um,
Yeah, it was kind of an intense, interesting experience. Seeing those guys at work, and that was what there's always those outliers that you meet. Sometimes you just see them online, and sometimes you get lucky and you get to actually meet them in
Yeah.
person.
yeah.
It's just like it's almost in at least in the artistic way, very sort of like life changing or eye opening, where you start to realize, holy shit, like there's a whole world of this that I've never knew even existed.
Yeah. It's
And it's just like, wow.
yeah. There's like a world of just badass artists. There's another guy I work with. His name is Joe Pepe.
Oh yeah, I've met him a couple of times.
Dude,
too.
I do so many fucking
He's a
drawings.
creature guy, right?
He's a creature guy, and he's the most fun guy to just draw. You know, like I draw him like probably every other fucking day, dude. Just do caricature drawings of him. But he
That's cool.
literally is responsible for like anyone who's born in the '80s, dude. Because he worked on like all the big fucking Disney movies. You know.
Yeah, he's been out there for a while. It's pretty much I've like Paul Osimo, right?
Yeah,
Met him
dude.
a couple times, I'm sure. Yeah, that guy is like super old school, but he's like he has a very
That's-
specific way of working. He does all of his 3D stuff in Rhino, and like I had a chance, like we worked together on Tron that was canceled, and and I had a chance to sit with him and see how he's doing. Actually, he worked with me on Captain America as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We've been
rad.
sitting together on that show for a while, and he's like one of the guys that are really easygoing and super cool to hang out. But also he's just like this very specific way of work that he has, in terms of creating props and like making sure that it's not just like it's not like your typical, you go on ArtStation, it's nicely rendered images that have something going on there, but they feel concept. His work is has that feel of like higher functionality and
Yeah.
more of a thinking process that goes behind what he does, and like almost every line or every shape that he would be creating is like there's something going on there. Like there's some thinking going on there.
Yeah.
He's always have that like really interesting references that go along with it. I remember he was showing me, in the Watchmen, that ship, fucking the flying,
Oh, yeah.
owl thingy.
Yeah. That.
He showed me like the model of it from in Rhino, and I was like,
Oh, rad.
how on earth your computer didn't explode yet? Because like every tiny detail was basically modeled.
Oh my God, that's crazy, dude.
I was like, dude, you're insane.
That is
Fucking insane. So
Jesus.
you get to meet those kind of people, and it's interesting what you said, because it's absolutely true. A lot of those guys are never on ArtStation or never on like DeviantArt or Facebook or whatsoever. They just have their own sort of world where they go from show to show and create amazing art. I think Ed, okay, I'm gonna butcher his name, Nadividad, right? Am I saying it correctly?
Ed,
yeah, he's like.
he's badass.
I've been saying like traditional art doesn't really have much place in entertainment industry. He's a person that would just pretty much defy that logic.
Oh my God, yeah. I think I once got a chance to sit in a meeting with him, and he was fucking sketching, dude.
Yeah,
and it made me
I've seen him doing that.
And I was like, what the hell? That is amazing. Such a badass. And he looks all like, dude, he looked like my uncle, like he's like he's like Asian or something. I was like, oh my God, it's like my uncle fucking drawing, dude. And he's just like a fucking badass.
And then there's this whole world of set designers.
Oh my God, dude.
John Hura?
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
That insane motherfucker. Holy shit. That guy is just truly insane.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I mean, set designers, I don't really know if he's set design, like, can be considered set designer, because he's mostly like doing vehicles. But that's still set design, right? He's in the set design union. I fucking don't know. Anyways, but I mean, when you look at the way he's built, because he's building stuff in SolidWorks and most of the time, and it's just like, what on earth is going on there? And it's not just like when you see Vitali's work, it's like it's a cyborg creating. It's like the AI self-fulfilling prophecy, building, learning as he's building, and it's just like, the fuck.
You're just watching. You're like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, I totally get it. But it's like nicely rendered. Like Vitali, would put like everything with materials and whatsoever.
Yeah.
John Hura is not that kind of person. Like, he's just gonna build stuff inside of SolidWorks and maybe present some renders, but they're not gonna be like beautiful renders in Keyshot whatsoever. But when you get to look at the fucking thing that he built and it actually works,
oh my God,
it's actually built to work.
That's insane.
He built that. I think that was him. I'm almost 100% sure, because he was showing this to me.
Yeah.
The vehicle for the Batman versus Superman, like the Batmobile.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Like all the details, including the rims and like how it is all connected and how it works, with all the engine parts. Like, it has like millions and millions of parts.
See, that's what
is going on there.
Guys that do that, like him and like even like Fausto. I worked with Fausto for like 2 years, and I'm just like, what the f is going on? He's not modeling shit. He's like building fucking worlds, dude. The guy like Ben and Fausto work really closely together.
Right.
And he's like his right hand man at the studio, and like they just go off and they don't just do like fucking sexy hard surface stuff, but they literally build out, oh yeah, this is what the entire building is gonna look like, all the way down to like toilets and shit. You know what I mean? It's insane.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing, man? It's like they take hard surface design thinking on such a different level that I just can't. I'm just like, what is going on, man? I can't comprehend that shit. I feel like retarded when I'm sitting next to them and they're having their like in-depth discussions about what to plan out. And so I can only imagine like what guys like Joe Hira and like, it's just like the shit that they think about, man. It's crazy.
Joe Hira, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's because of you, old Johns.
All the Johns must die.
All the Johns must die.
Yeah, there can only be
Yeah,
one John.
Joseph Hura.
Yeah.
Just I don't actually put it on the chat. Correct myself.
Yeah. Are there any like I don't know questions like how do you guys usually run these podcasts?
Yeah, there's a few questions. Just whenever you guys are ready, I could ask them.
Just do it, man. Just do it.
The first one's
Do it,
for you.
boy.
I just do it.
It says, any tips for adding detail to your drawings? I have a hard time filling out line drawings of vehicles with good detail.
With good detail? Fuck, man, that is such a good question. Holy shit. Honestly, I just look at reference like a mofo. And I know that's probably the most generic answer you probably don't want to hear. But a lot of times, like, I will literally just Google, like, if you look at, like, a tank, right? I'm not sure if you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, we can
All
see your screen.
If you look at, like, a tank, and there's a lot of shit on a tank, dude. I mean, it's insane. But let's go this one here. But if you look at this here, like, there's a lot of stuff. Just look at all the instrument and paneling that's on there. It's insane, right? So I usually kind of look at these pieces or these elements for reference when I'm drawing. And I typically kind of refer to these anytime I need to think about detail, right? Because I don't know. I feel like when you think about a tank, you only think about just treads and a cannon, right? But if you look beyond that, there's so much more. There's like armor plating on the sides, and there's these extra things. Like for the longest time, I thought these were fucking grenade launchers or something right here, and they're just extra treads, man. It's insane. It's like super fucking functional. But these are the things that like make up those details on a tank, and I would say, yeah, look at kind of reference as kind of like a key point to figure out what to fill in.
Excellent.
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
Very good answer.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations. You won.
You won.
No, I couldn't agree more, It's all good.
Yeah, or you can just draw it out and I don't know.
Going on to the next question, it says, how do you draw? Because your style is basically like oil paint style, I guess.
My style's
says,
I wish, man. What? That is.
Have you ever drawn oil painting?
Dude, I don't even know how to mix colors, man. I don't know who's asking this question, but dude, I do not know how to mix colors to save my life. I just look at other people's paintings. I look at I guess like Frederick Remington, Bill Anton. I look at Mache's paintings.
I don't paint. I cheat.
Yeah, man. No, dude, cheating is the way. I don't know, man. I look at a lot of other painters, and I guess in Photoshop, it's kind of like how can you mimic that? Because obviously the source or the tools of what you're using are different, but the fundamentals can be recreated. If you just kind of take a moment to sit there and just kind of look at things, look at how it's all like laid in. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that kind of answers something. Maybe it answered nothing. I don't know.
Answers a lot though.
I actually did this. I did a workshop over at Art Institute, and actually a lot of how I get colors or how I paint is through pattern stamp. And Mache, you probably know this because you know every fucking technique, dude. But I will literally just like paint in. Like you basically create like a pattern in Photoshop, and you can paint in these textures with a brush. So it's kind of like.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Oh shit, dude! I got you, fool. Are you,
so ashamed.
are you serious? You didn't know that shit?
I never done that.
But you
honestly.
knew it though.
Well, I know there's, you can do like texture painting and shit like that. That I know, but like, I've never done that before. At least not with the patterns.
Dude, I know something that you don't know. Oh my god. No, man,
with
this
the
is
stamp tool kind of thing.
yes.
Yeah, I've never done
It's
that.
a fucking awesome technique. Like you can get just like colors. So that's kind of how I've been doing like 95% of my paintings. Anything that has to do with color. And
yeah, Daniel.
damn, Daniel, shit, shit.
Stasty.
Just fucking just pick a painting and just copy that shit. But it's great for like laying down a decent footwork for just palettes, because I'm horrible with palettes, man. You know, so I tend to like resort to this technique to kind of like come up with some interesting color combinations and harmony.
That's an interesting technique, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, dude, you should use the shit out of this.
Oh yes, I will.
Just do it, man.
I will.
Shit, just do it.
Next question is about improving your visual library. This is what do you do in a daily basis to improve your designs?
To improve your designs, shit, man. I don't know. Mache, you wanna start that off, man? Let me think about a good answer.
What to do to improve your design?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's
Preach.
Preach, yeah, preach, man, preach. No, it's research. So let's say you have to design a weapon, right? Like, it's the easiest sort of.
A pew pew.
A pew pew. Yeah,
Pew.
you have to pew to pew,
You have to pew to the pew.
and you don't know like like what can I do?
Yeah, what kind of pew pews can you make?
What can I pew to get the pews in a proper way, right? So the
Very
best way
nice.
you can do is like every time you start something new, haven't done before, is start like doing little researches. Like if there's a weapon, if you have to design a rifle, like what is it built from? Like, or what kind of mechanism is
Pew pew
there?
wood.
Right, a pew wood, some metal,
Pew
some
pew metal.
plastic,
Pew pew metals. Anything pew related.
and then you just like you read about like what
In the
are the
pew-pew book.
mechanism, the pew trigger, and all those things. Like you start to put together. Okay, this is why the trigger is
put it together.
here. This is the
Garage.
release. This is the fucking whatever. This is where the magazine goes in. This is how the bullet is released, and you kind of start to understand the structure. And once you understand the structure, you can now take liberties in design changes that will still keep it somewhat in the realm of possibility that this kind of looks still as usable thing. Like it's not just some random fart that is supposed to be a weapon, but you can't
And
really
what,
tell.
and what do you do if it's like future technology?
Well, my take is that I usually want to have at least something that is grounded, even if it's a futuristic thing, because the truth of the matter is not imagine an average person looking at your concept. If there's too much unknown going on, you're not going to be able to decipher what exactly you're looking at. So,
Yeah, that's true.
and if you don't have like a grounding element that just basically is a very recognizable thing, then it's going to be a really difficult task to draw something that is really convincing,
Right.
And I've been looking at it from perspective of video games and films and stuff like that. Why some things are making more sense while others like are not really working that well. Like when you look at art films, a lot of people just don't relate to that. Like it's just too alien from the average, So if you have at least something that is grounded, something that an average person who's not really interested in design, doesn't have any experience in understanding what, design and form and everything that we artists use really is,
Mm-hmm.
like they will not see the intricate slight differences in terms of like what is making good or bad design. The first thing they will see is like, do I recognize what I'm looking at? It's very similar to you digesting classical music. Like you're gonna hear the orchestra, but you're not gonna hear every single instrument unless you're trained to do that and trained to see fucking everything is in the right order, everything is in the right rhythm, you know. Slight differences might make or break amazing orchestra, and for an average person, it's just like, I mean, it's just fucking music, right? So it's a very similar way. So I always try to think, you know what, just put something that is recognizable, something that you can relate to, and then abbreviate from there using design rules, or breaking design rules, you know, depending on how far you want to really push it. So
Nice.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice explanation of it. Yeah. Yeah, man. Damn.
damn, Daniel.
Damn. Damn.
John, do we have more questions?
Yeah, next one says, John, I see that you worked on Uncharted 4, but as we know, they already have a really good artist on there, like Eaton,
Yeah,
Nick.
why would they hire me?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Nick, and others. So Naughty Dog's called you for early designs, or there's another reason for that?
Yeah, I didn't know you were working on it, dude.
No, or maybe I just didn't work on it and I just did fan art and I released that shit.
Oh, damn, Daniel!
Shit. You know, I don't know why they asked me to, you know, join in. Honestly, it was something that you know, I got called in by Rob Rupel like in 2014 or 13, and I started working on it with James Pake, and it was actually like a collaborative thing, and I think we were in the earlier like development phases. And honestly, like again, like my same thought is kind of like, you know, if they already have like really good in-house artists, why would they hire anyone outside? You know, like that's kind of the thinking, like, right? That's the first thing that comes to my mind too.
But
Shit, here comes the but. I think they just wanted a different kind of opinion, because maybe it has something to do with the fact that like, you know, the guys that work at the studios are so used to the IP and so used to the visual style. You know, it's like you know, the studios probably just want to hire someone temporarily who's not at the studio to kind of bring in or introduce just a different look. And you know, I'm nowhere nearly as good as like doing environments like, you know, Mache and Aton and you know, Nick Gindro and John Smith. Those guys are fucking awesome. No, you guys are fucking awesome, man. Yeah. You guys are badass at what you do. But like, it made me, because I had to understand why. I was like, why the fuck would you guys, you know, bring someone like me on, dude? It makes no sense. But like, it was for that reason, because I've never worked on an Uncharted film. I'm not attached to it. So I think, you know, Rob and you know, whoever the producers were wanted to maybe get a different outside opinion on what this could look like, and then
Fresh eyes. Yeah.
just from fresh eyes, yeah. And maybe the team can look at it and kind of just, you know, internalize and be like, okay, that's kind of cool. Maybe we can piggyback off of that, or, you know, not to give myself any credit, but, you know, maybe there's something that you know, me and James Pake's involvement might have sparked something. I don't know what it is, and I can't say that
jealousy.
You know, it sparked jealousy. It's like, suck it, bitch. But you know, maybe it was for that reason that they hired us on. And you know, a lot of the stuff that we did was so early on that, you know, it was like blue sky. I mean, there was like no real specific direction. It was just like, oh yeah, you know, we want to see, you know, maybe there's a ship that's all sunken. Maybe there's a city that's completely sunken underwater. And we just did a bunch of variations on like just different ideas on that. So yeah, man, it was an interesting experience having, you know, working with the guys at Naughty Dog. You know, like, I've always been a huge fan of the franchise, and, you know, especially with like a huge fan of like Rob Rupel's work and everything. So
How long did you work there?
I was a contractor for probably like 8 months, 8 months.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And we would, like, me and James would do
Daniel?
paintings. You know, we would just do paintings like off site. And, you know, we never really got a chance to go to the studios, or at least I never did. But it was yeah, it
Well,
was
that's
just
fine.
yeah, but it was cool. It was cool to kind of pretend. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna contribute to something. It's gonna be fucking awesome. But just seeing, again, like comparatively, seeing the stuff like that, Aton and Nick and even Air Lamonic, I totally forgot to mention him, but like seeing the stuff that they did, I was like, holy shit, man! You guys took the turd sketches that I gave you guys, and basically made it 100,000 times better, and did your own versions and whatnot. And I just kind of was like, wait. And I was reminded, like, what the fuck? Why am I here again? Or why'd you guys hire me? Really weird. But
Yeah,
What's
Naughty
your,
Dog is really lucky to
Yeah.
have those guys. Holy fuck! Like if
Yeah.
you think about John Sweeney, Aton, Aaron, and Nick, and just for environment work, this is just like a dream team to have.
yeah,
Seriously.
fucking rad.
Yep.
Effing rad, dude.
Going on to the next question says, how do you guys not fatigue or burn out working 14 to 16 hours a day in your wilderness years? Did you guys see a fall off in the quality of your work as the day goes on, or did it not matter?
Fucking drink Gatorade. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get pretty burnt out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean,
I sometimes just want to fucking trash everything and go out, but
Yeah.
I know I can't, so just power through it.
yeah, exactly. Oh man.
I got a long night ahead of me.
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna
got
be
you got
miserable.
you got a lot of work ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what's kind of interesting, like, is like, a lot of people like talked about, like, like work tolerance or like endurance. I would say, like, how do you maintain a certain amount of endurance? Is I think,
Yeah,
like,
bro.
if you're used to, I remember going to art school and it was fucking hard, dude. It was the most hardest thing, and I think it's because I was never used to it, and I had no expectations of what it was gonna be like. And so having to draw for like 10 to 12 hours straight, I think my brain was just shocked. But then once you get used to it, it kind of becomes a norm, right? You're like, oh, whatever. Like, I can continue to do this. It's nothing. So I feel that work is the same way. Like the first time you get employed, I felt like it was really difficult and really stressful. And then you work, for 1 to 2 years, and you kind of get used to it. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah. You kind of get used to that routine of just checking things off in your to-do list. And I think over time your tolerance for how much work you can do and how much you can produce just goes up. Because if you were to ask me, like, 10 years ago, like, oh, dude, can you do a painting in a day? I would probably freak the fuck out. I wouldn't. It would probably take me like a month to do a painting. And I'd probably get very burnt out really quickly. But now I feel like I have that tolerance, that mileage.
Yeah, it's building a resilience.
Yeah.
It's like with anything else. Like when you first time you go to the gym and you want to work out, it's 5 minutes and you're fucking spent.
Yeah.
Like the very first time you walk in the gym and do some workout, it's just like, oh, I want to get out.
Yeah.
Like I had the same thing when I started running, some years ago. The first run, 10 minutes, it was like intervals where I would run for 20 seconds tops and then have like a minute or 2 minute walk.
Mhm.
And I was so sore, so spent and everything.
Yeah.
That it was just unbearable. But, 3 months later, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, when you're doing it every day and you put really an effort towards it, it just becomes like a second nature. You build a resilience. It's the moments where you're really tired and you really don't want to go further that
Yeah.
kind of define what the outcome is going to be. Like, what are you going to be, a person that kind of quits because like, I'm tired, I don't want to do it. It's just like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be like, no, I have obligations and, I'm being paid for this, so I better fucking deliver.
Right.
So it's just a matter of like what kind of perspective you have, at what point you want to give up. And when you reach that point where you just don't want to do it anymore,
Yeah.
that's when you start to build that resilience. So, and I agree with you. It's just like you start with an hour or two.
You learned that, right? Sorry not to cut you
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
You
No,
learned
no,
that
go
over
ahead.
time, right?
Yeah, it takes time. It always tests you because you're gonna have times where you just really don't want to do it. When like, fuck, how many times I had a moment where I'll be doing several projects or even just one, where I know I have, you finish work at 6, and then you have maybe an hour break, and then it's gonna be another 4-6 hours. Whereas like, I wish I could play some video games or go for dinner with friends. like that kind of feeling,
Yeah,
shitty feeling. Like, there's shitload of work ahead, like I have today.
Yeah, totally.
It's just like you either do it or not. Like you just have to put yourself and do it. If you're not doing this, then someone else will. Someone
Yeah,
else will be
that's
more
true.
resilient than you and more reliable than you too.
Yeah.
And also it's just like whether you work smart or not, because I know people that work hard and there are people that don't work that hard, but they're still amazing artists and doing really well because they're much smarter in terms of the choices they're taking.
Right.
So it takes a toll on you if you work that hard. I don't think I know anyone who could do it for prolonged amount of time, like months and months and months. Like I can imagine doing it for a couple of months, but then I need a break. Like there's no way I can keep going for longer than that. It's just.
But is it like a 1 week break, or are you going to take off for 2 months? Or
Well, for me, break means that I'm not taking extra work.
extra?
You're only doing that one job that
Yeah.
you already set
And
on.
then you feel like lazy fuck. But
Yeah.
you need that. Like, even here's the problem. Like when you get in that mood of working really hard, and that's actually a stupid thing to do, because what I've noticed is this: when I have a lot of work and like way too much work to do, and it's my own fault for taking too many projects at once. I had several moments in my life where I did that. I believe the most I had was like 6 or 5 films
Shit, dude.
at the same time. I was like, what in the hell am I doing? Because like
Jesus, man.
it's 12 p.m. like 12 a.m. p.m. night, and I know I got still 3-4 hours to go, and then
Shit.
I have to wake at 9, and it's like 2 months of that.
Wow.
And I'm
Jesus.
fuck. Like, ugh, why have I done that? But then the checks come in, and you're like, oh, okay, I understand.
You're happy. Yeah. Well, what about sleep cycles? Do you like always wake up at 9 and work early on through the day, or do you like sometimes work till 7 a.m. or what do you do?
Yeah, John, what do you do?
Oh man, what do I do? Dude, I just straight up watch Game of Thrones and say fuck this shit. No,
Damn right.
sleep cycle. Sleep cycle. Let's see here. What do I do? I mean, I'm probably more active. I used to be more active at night.
Mhm.
Just because I think a lot of artists like share the same kind of like work pattern, right?
Or like owls, yeah.
Right. Yeah, kind of like we're all nocturnal and shit. And I would basically, sleep at like 3-4 in the morning every single day and wake up at maybe, 8:39, and so my sleep
Right.
schedule was effed, right? So I mean, and that was just kind of my life. It was for the longest time. I think my body was just kind of regimented to that kind of to that like flow or
But
cycle.
I mean, I think once you have like the consistency, it's all right. But like, did you like throw it around a lot? Like one night go 3 a.m., the other is 7 a.m., all that shit. Or
Oh, dude, man! When I do that, I get wrecked.
oh really? Mm.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle it. I think I've tried it once, and like the next day, my brain is like just
Fried.
working. Yeah, it's just not working at all.
Well, I can tell you this is, and I'm pretty sure I can talk for both of us, is when you get out of the pattern and you know you have to stop and you keep going, like the next day your productivity is gonna be in shambles. There's no way you're gonna be productive, and in essence, it's really a waste of time. So what I've started learning over time, and I'm still I still make mistakes, and I'm pretty sure everyone does, is set up a timer. Like just put a cutoff point. Say, okay, after this time I'm not doing anything else. Because if you don't do that, especially when you're engaged in your personal work, which can be a real time sucker, is if you don't put yourself into some limits, you're gonna destroy your soul. You're gonna destroy your soul.
Yeah.
Seriously. Do you guys, I mean, John and Eden, if you want to chip in, do you guys have something like, when you have like really a lot of work to do, and I know it's like a bragging thing to say, but at your level of work, I'm pretty sure you've been being pretty much battered with amount of work. But let's say you do a couple of projects at once, if you make a mistake of taking too much work to a point where you're constantly tired, you find yourself to be in the procrastination mode where you're just, I think it's a good idea to now start learning all the V-Ray materials and shaders,
I'm too much of a pussy to learn 3D, man.
Right, but I mean, just finding like an avenue of something that is not really related is not going to help you with work.
It's kind of like, maybe we should do this, and you're not even getting to your work.
So true, man. So true. Yeah.
I've done that many times. But yeah, it's
on that topic of like getting taking on too much work is I found that like it's hard to say no to an opportunity, when it's presented. Like you get called in like, and a studio goes, hey, we got an amazing movie project, would you like to get on board? And you think like, if I don't do it, they will never fucking hire me ever again. Like, I will never get this opportunity. I think there's like,
we'll never do it again.
There's that instinct, but the other part of your brain is telling you like, dude, don't do it. You already have too much other shit. You're really not gonna have a life, and you're gonna fucking piss off your wife, man. Don't do it. And it just fucking, I end up taking the job, man, and it's retarded.
No, yes.
And so, basically the moral of the story is you don't learn shit. And I think for me, I had to learn my own limits, my own healthy limitations, and I'm still learning what that is and how to balance that out. And even applies for me like with work, right? Even like paintings. Like sometimes I get too ambitious and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do like 3 paintings today. It's like, how about you just do one really good fucking painting, And it took me a long time to learn that, because it just my own personal mindset. I've just been it's like so habitual for me to like try to take on multiple things at once, and I get the most shittiest result because I'm literally half-assing everything, right? And so I'm trying to like simplify. That's kind of been like the theme of like my own personal, I guess, like my own personal goal is to learn how to simplify and just try to be good at that one thing that I like kind of set my mind to, But
I do want to add though, if you take on multiple projects and you're adding like pressure to yourself, it can really boost your stuff. I mean, you got to get that shit done, and then you're like, no extra time to sleaze off. You just like fucking rock it. That's what I've experienced as well. You guys too, or?
I think in terms of like productivity level, yes, absolutely. Personally for me, like in terms of quality, it's kind of been the opposite.
Oh, really?
I end up doing like the shittiest work. I mean, but I can say like, yeah, I worked on like 7 movies. But it's something like I can never, I don't know, and it's different for everyone, man. I mean, I feel like I'm just built that way. I end up doing shittier work when I have too much on my plate. It's almost better for me, I was like, man, dude, I gotta fucking just chill out and just do maybe 1 or 2 jobs, but just do it really well. Just do one job really well, and it will count more than having had done like 7 jobs at the same time. Because I feel like it's like a juggling act, But there is that other side. I mean, and you mentioned a really good point, Edon, is like it boosts. It kind of gets like this, like you get this boost of energy out of fucking nowhere, and you're in like Super Saiyan mode, and you're fucking cranking.
It's only short-lived though, at least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more, John. I have the same thing, and it was an epiphany over years of experience and kind of overworking myself to a death, to a point where like I could feel my body is basically starting to give up.
Uh
I'm getting like way tired and like I feel like an old person.
And this sounds very bad for the future. I mean, you're all way older than I am, so you know.
huh. Shit. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
How old are you, man? What the?
I'll turn.
He's 12.
No, almost a little bit older. I'll turn 20 this July.
What the? Jesus Christ, dude. God damn. You know what I was doing?
Jesus
When I was
Christ
20?
himself. You don't
Jesus. You know what I was doing when I was 20, man? I was like fucking masturbating and
Wanking a lot, yeah.
eating Cheetos and like, taking around, dude. I
Both.
don't know the concept
Both
of
thing at once.
Actually, I was
Masturbating with Cheetos.
I was a StarCraft champion. That is legit.
Or was-
Damn.
I was like straight up fucking PC bang, cafes like fucking 60 hours a week, man. No joke.
That's cool.
Very
But-
nice.
But I envy you, man. Holy shit, dude, you are fucking young. Dude,
Yeah,
I don't want
those
to be
young
ageist, but
motherfuckers.
god damn, dude, I'm gonna work
Taking away our jobs.
where do you live, man, so I can fucking kill
Keep your
you.
jobs.
Live, man.
Our jobs.
Damn, I took your job, asshole.
So going back to the subject, just to kind of
Holy
break this married conversation and
Yeah.
be a little bitch and asshole here.
Keep it real.
Just keep it real.
Yeah.
It is true. Like I've noticed it. When you have time and effort and all the effort that you could put in towards one project, and even when you hit your time, your clock, like okay, I should clock out and it's done. You still have a little more energy to go and something that you can add that will make it even better.
Yeah.
Here's what I've learned over time. It's the benefits of putting the extra effort that normally you wouldn't do because you're just like, I'm not getting paid for that work, like that
Mhm.
extra work,
Yeah.
is how it benefits you in the future and for your future projects.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you've told me that before, yeah.
So anytime, like for instance, anytime you do, a film work or whatever, or a game, it's just like that extra effort, that extra details that you're gonna add, and then when you release that work, it's not just gonna be like a concept art that you just released for a project. No, that shit is beautiful because you've put like all your heart in it, and that changes the way you project yourself onto the industry. It changes the way people recognize your work. I mean, the greatest look at the greatest artists out there, like your Vitali's and Faustos and everyone. Those guys are like really neat peeking all the details they can, and even when they feel like it's done, they'll still keep going.
Dude.
Like a machine, right?
Yeah, they never go home, man. Like Fausto never
beasts.
goes home.
Yeah,
So it's like
man. So when what's going on is like, oh, I'm driving home. What, like 1 a.m.
yeah, they just it's
Yeah, he's
it's like
he's a beast. And
a different species of like fucking human being, dude.
so when you have that comfort of not overwhelming yourself with the extra shit, you can focus your efforts and all your energy towards one thing, and usually that means you will succeed on that one thing. Now, granted, you're not gonna have a Facebook post with awesome art every day, but that one post you're gonna drop with those 20 images is just gonna blow up, So
The art bomb, yeah.
yeah,
Art bomb it.
art bomb it. So it's like a double-edged sword, I would say. On one end, just you become more productive when you do way more stuff, because now all of a sudden, because of the pressure you feel, and it all depends on the character as well. If you're a person that always keep promises and always wants to deliver and get really pissed off when you're failing. I'm a person that like if one fucking thing goes wrong, I'm flipping out. Like I'm like I'm gonna kill everyone around me because this has to be done perfectly, right? I'm that kind of person where it's just like I just cannot drop the ball. If I do, it's just like it's a disaster. And if you have that kind of mindset, then you can push yourself through a lot of efforts and a lot of hard work and build that resilience, but it just takes so much energy out of you that you could have spent otherwise in
Yeah.
other places. Like if you are young and And you have to, I would say this, look at the priorities of what do you want to do with your life, right? And then build your work days and your days around those priorities. Pick the 3 things that are most important to you that you cannot live without, and then prioritize time around those things. If art is not one of those things, if art is not on the first place or second place, I would say pick a better job, pick something that makes more money and doesn't require you to work your ass off that much, because it's just gonna be too hard.
Could I chime in for like 1 second?
Of course.
Not to like interrupt.
It's an interview with you and not me.
Oh, dude, you're speaking gold, man. You're speaking gold. But I've just like been reminded of like, when, all right, not to use you as an example, but like, you're fucking talented, dude. You are super talented, man. And the stuff that you produce is insane. So
It's all right.
Thanks, dude.
dude, it's badass. but like, I feel fucking old when when we're giving our I guess our point of view, like, yeah, you should just fucking slow down and do this. No, fuck that, man. You should speed the fuck up. Go 100. You should do like 17 models a day, dude. Because
At least.
if you think about like someone like Mache, right? When he was starting out, dude, Mache, when you were starting out, man, you gave no fucks, dude. I bet you
yeah.
like.
I mean, I'm
like,
talking
fuck
from
it, I'm gonna do like
experience
20
of
meetings,
keeping
right?
my mind sane and not getting old too early because I want to live life,
No, but like I remember I was super competitive in school, dude.
Right.
I remember like when my friends would would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go home and do my homework and we're gonna try to get this one painting done.
Yeah.
In my mindset, I was like, fuck you guys, dude. I'm gonna do like 7 paintings.
70 paintings.
70 paintings. You don't even know. But I honestly felt like that was the start of my my ability or my tolerance to do more than what was just asked. So back to the discussion of like scheduling and time management and this and that. Like I really do feel that do as much as you can and find something that works for you. But
Right.
in the
Yeah,
meantime,
of course.
yeah,
I'm
like
not gonna argue with that, of course.
fucking like rock it, dude. I mean, if you want to take on like 7 jobs at once, like just fucking do it, dude. And own it, and really just be and really
You
just
can,
try to-
yeah, you just build the resilience and don't give up. If you decide
Yeah.
to do it, just be a man and fucking grow balls and do it.
yeah,
Or a woman,
exactly.
grow vaginas and do it. But generally speaking, it's just like if you put yourself in a situation of this kind of predicament, then you have to own it. If you don't, then that's going to be a hard thing to do. Not only are you just gonna fail and maybe lose opportunities in the future, it's just not worth it. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's your priority, because I know people that like, oh, art is my hobby, but I don't really know. Well, then find that thing that you're really obsessed about.
Right.
Because you can, I guess, I mean, we're living in times where I'm really disattached from like how regular workforce looks like these days. I hear there's jobs in like mechanics and shops and banking and whatnot, but I don't fucking know how that kind of life is. I've never done that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I can't really tell if it requires an effort to get those kind of jobs or not. I don't want to even speak about it because it's just like so far away from where my life and my world really is. But one thing I know is art business, it's not like it's been 30 years ago where it was just for limited few that had access to, say, art center or, one of those better design schools, and then that allowed you to make connections to actually become an artist for film or games and whatnot, right? That's not the same business anymore. There's so many artists out there that are hungry to be, to make money and to be in the industry. The competition is just humongous. I'm gonna repeat myself with ArtStation. Go there and see how much work is out there. If
Yeah,
your
that's
work
true.
is, if your progression of work is not reaching anything that you see on the front page, and you are assuming you're working your hardest, maybe, just maybe, you're either not putting enough effort, or you're a kind of person that throughout your life, your childhood, your genome, and everything that is related to you as a human being, the way you're constructed maybe means that you need to put way more effort towards one thing and to be good at it, whereas someone who has a different predicaments of how that person was raised and exposed to when he or she was a child, or what kind of environment was he or she in, and what kind of everything that happened throughout life, and interest, and everything that brain functions and whatever, maybe that person can produce amazing art without effort.
Yeah.
There's always a place for everyone, but you have to compare yourself to the best. If you want to be an artist and you want to make money, I used to say that you're either going to be 99% of people or 95% of people that are looking for work, or you're going to be as good as the top 5%, so you don't have to look for work.
Right,
The
right.
work is just coming towards you. And it's literally that ratio, I think. It's like 95 towards 5%. So if you feel you have an energy and you can put all the efforts towards being in that 5%, by all means do it. If not, I'm pretty sure there are jobs that are easier to be done where you can make more money, maybe not be as involved, and maybe not as happy with art creation, but your life is gonna be easier. Let's put it
Yeah,
this
that's
way,
true.
right?
That
And
is
you
true.
might find something else. Maybe music is for you, or sports, or or research, whatever. Like, I think every single person that been raised in this world has at least one trait that if you find what that is, and you can pursue with your all efforts and build that resilience of hard work and putting all the hours in, whatever that is, you will make money out of it. Like, imagine 2007 when YouTube was coming out. Like, if you in 2007 someone would come over and say, like, you can make money by playing games and people watching you play games, and that's going to happen in a few years, and there's going to be a person who's going to be a millionaire doing that,
Yeah.
I would say, like, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, go home. Like, do something with your life instead of spreading bullshit. Now we have PewDiePie and hundreds of other YouTubers that are making
it's true.
millions because they are entertaining, because they found their niche. I think everyone can find their niche. For one person, it's gonna be a fulfillment of just creating something they're passionate about and maybe making enough to make a living. For another person, it's just gonna be making millions of dollars and driving Ferraris and just being entertaining, and that's what they're built for. So.
Yeah, I do want to add though that it's not like you can always go back, right? Like I know
Yeah, of
people
course.
that were like texture artists, they did a good job, and then they transition into like lighting or whatever concept art. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like it's not like now or never. I
Yeah.
like to say.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is a
it's
good thing.
the artist path. Like, if you decide to choose it, just be sure it would, like with anything, you're gonna fail so many times you will want to quit. And if you're gonna be a person that doesn't quit and keep going, that means you're building resilience towards a person that can actually make it. I've been reading this new book. I got this from Ash, and I think it was a book that Vitaly was recommending. It's called Relentless.
Mm.
Let me see who wrote it.
I'm still reading
I think
Compound
it's,
Effect.
yeah, it's From Good to Great to Unstoppable.
Ah.
It's from Tim Grover. And from what I understand from the first few chapters, because I just started reading it, Tim Grover is basically a guy who trains with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, like all those fucking badasses, the best people out there,
Right.
and make sure that they perform at the unstoppable levels. Like they are who they are. He's a person that they will call if they're having troubles. Like, I'm doubting myself, I'm gonna call that guy. So he wrote that book. and he had some interesting quotes there. About it's not about what skill level you are. It's how easy you are to quit. And forget that, okay, I was doing this and now I'm not doing it anymore. That defines good players versus amazing, unstoppable players. Because skill comes over time. And again, like someone will be physically built to be fucking amazing, right? But it doesn't mean that you cannot do it. It means that maybe your set of goals will be different. Maybe how far you can go will be different, but you can still achieve success. And success is a relative word, right? Success is not measured by how many millions of dollars you're making. It's how you feel about what you do and how far you're willing to go and how many failures you're willing to get through to get that one success, one situation where you feel like, hey, I made it. Like, this is it, right? And now I can go on more. Like, I made this. What's next, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a more realistic way of thinking. I used to think, and I've been saying this myself again many times, is like, Malcolm Gladwell said 10,000 hours and you're gonna be great. Even if you put 10,000 hours, there's so many variables in your life that can just derail all your efforts. If you're born in Syria and you think about 10,000 hours to become an artist, fucking good luck, dude. That's not your major concern. Like, you have so much shit to figure out. First of all, how to get out of there from the war zone. It's just like, it's a slap in the face for people that are born in those predicaments, in those environments where it's just like, how do you get out of that? Like, without having anyone out there telling you the right thing to do, right? Because for me and you and everyone else, it's very easy to say, like, oh, just read the audiobook. Well, what if you don't have internet?
Exactly, yeah.
So we're hitting an hour now. Or we actually hit an hour. But
Cool.
there's
We're gonna wrap it up very soon. Let's maybe
questions.
Grab some more questions, a few more questions, and I've went on a monologue. Sorry for that, guys.
Extended
Right.
version.
Oh my
Preaching
god.
good stuff. So it's all good.
God damn.
So yeah, there's about 9 questions left. If you guys want to just lightning round it or whatever. It's up
Sure.
to you.
Let's lightning round that shit.
First one says, how do you keep yourself energized to keep working on personal stuff outside of work?
Oh my god, that's like, it's really a. I feel like it's something that you have to just kind of train yourself to do. Because when I come home, I just want to fucking veg out. I don't want to do anything, But it's one of those things where, just one step at a time. I can't give you one like aha answer where you're like, yeah, that totally makes sense. But I will say, start training yourself to start working on personal projects or personal work. One image or one piece at a time, because that's kind of the way I learned to balance out work versus personal work, and just to kind of stay kind of on top of my own like skill sets or my own needs and wants as an artist. But yeah, it's tough, man, because when you come from work, and I'm sure a lot of guys who are listening, have a wide variety of like work experience. I mean, some people are probably working at restaurants and whatnot, and it's fucking hard, man. But I will say, like one step at a time. Don't try to just jump into the deep end, because I know I've tried doing that shit, and when you fall, you're gonna feel so discouraged. You're like, man, fuck this, dude. This is like retarded. I don't want to do this. But if you just spend and give yourself a regimen of like, you know what, I'm just going to spend 10 minutes after work. 10 minutes, and I'm just going to scribble something or model something out in front of the computer, and that is going to be my, the goal for today. I think that 10 minutes is going to translate into 15 minutes the next day, and you're basically building that tolerance. And, we talked about tolerance today. Try something out, try it out and just give it a small shot. You don't have to go, full deep end, but build it up to the point where you feel like you can slowly build off of it. You have that tolerance to kind of go longer and longer, or work work longer hours, or come home and work on your personal stuff for like hours.
Right.
But yeah.
Is it for you that you're like John? If you come home from work, they're like totally tired and not interested at all in doing like personal work anymore, or are you like super inspired? Because like mostly when I'm done with work, I learn something new, or I have such a cool gig, and then I'm like, shit, I feel so inspired, and then I go quick and make a pew pew or anything. I just feel so pumped. Do you have the same?
It comes and goes. I can't say it's
Fluctuates.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it fluctuates. I can't say like, it's like that every day. But even when it's not, even when I feel like shit, I
Still do it.
try to force myself to do it,
Nice.
because there's something about doing, doing your own stuff, even when you're not feeling 100%, that you're outputting something, and even if it's like a 10-minute scribble, that 10-minute scribble is going to translate into something else.
Right.
And then when you are on top of it, when you're feeling really good, you're going to have you're going to be 10 minutes ahead, right? And that's something that I definitely learned a lot when I was like taking on multiple jobs. And Mache can probably he can give you his thoughts too on that. Is you do jobs, you work on projects, and you're just like, you're fucking dreading it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to finish it no matter what. You have to finish it. But when you get to the finish line, you're like, that wasn't that bad, man. That wasn't that bad at all. I can probably do this again, and I'll do it better next time. I won't feel as shitty, but I can definitely do it when I need to. And I think it's that tolerance. It's like building that
Resilience.
like, yeah, resilience.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
But
Next question says, how do you add light on environments and characters? Do you have any tips for studying as well? This is for both of you, John and Mache.
I don't know. You want to answer that, Mache? Want to go first?
How do I add lighting to my environments and characters?
With a brush.
Well, yeah, it's just like it's a copy paste brush called copy paste brush. It's www.google.com copy paste brush. No, but seriously, when I just don't add light, I think of what kind of lighting I want to have in my painting in the first place. And it's not just like I paint something and like, oh, let's figure out what the lighting's going to be. No, I have that in my mind first. Recently, I'm spending way more time actually building lights in 3D, where I would just build a simple scene, maybe use HDRI or maybe use some lights, and then build a scene like that, and then add textures from photos and paint overs and whatnot. Or if that's not happening, if I want to do something quick, like a little photo bashing here and there, or mix it with painting, or just even paint, I always gonna think about what kind of lighting I want to have in the first place. I'm not gonna just jump in and like this is probably what the lighting should be. No, I mean, I already know before I even start painting.
Damn, that is hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm not as like fucking badass as Mache in that fucking area, but I typically I'm more, the way I work is a bit more safer, like I almost sometimes go into an image not knowing what to lay down or what to paint, and a lot of times I'll just draw it out because that's the only medium that I can confidently output and without really feeling lost. And even if it's like a shitty scribble, I'll draw it out, and then I'll put in my colors, and it's like everything's unlit. And I'm sure if you guys are watching my demo here, it looks like like total ass, like ass, like in the beginning phases. But I'm just figuring out kind of the basic fundamentals of color, and then I start kind of getting into like, okay, now I got everything in. Where can I add some interesting light? Maybe I can put a streak of light that's cutting across his face, or maybe I can put a some beam of light over here or something, And so that's kind of my approach, like I have to figure it out as I go, but I have to kind of like plan things in stages, so that it's a bit more digestible for me. Because, yeah, man, that's hardcore, dude. Machete's hardcore.
Okay, so
Oh, don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you do it.
Don't know how you do it.
Just planning ahead, I guess. Just thinking like what, and then go doing it.
Just do it.
Just fucking do it, dude.
So we're gonna take on one more question, and then we're gonna end it there. So if you didn't get your question asked, just sorry about that. Join in next time for Art Cafe.
Yeah, boy.
But
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
Next question says, what is the best way to draw in inner parts of mechs, like the joints, gears, bolts, etc.?
Uh-huh.
What is the
How do
best?
you do that, John?
What is the best way to best way to draw the inner parts?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay? I can probably explain this shit in like 5 minutes. Here we go. Not that I'm like good at it, but
Oh,
I
shit.
know enough. All right.
Oh shit.
So, oh shit. Here we go. Goddamn.
Oh.
Holy shit. So the first thing you do is you want to break it down into basic fundamentals, right? Like a lot of because I'm not an engineer, man. I just try to fucking like fake that shit. Fake it till you make it, dog. So if you have like a hinge joint, which is basically, it's very similar to the way your elbow works, right? If you have like your elbow, my shitty fucking anatomy drawing here, but your elbow is kind of like, it's basically a hinge joint, right? And it rotates on one axis. And if you think about what rotates, and there's other examples of hinges, like doors have hinges too, and I look at that as one general like gear vocabulary, and that gear vocabulary is something that I use, right? And so basically I will use this language and I'll turn this into kind of like a gear, like this.
Very nice.
I'll hook it onto, basically what is a mech arm or whatever the hell it is. But this is kind of the easiest way that I've come to understand it. And obviously this is like a very rudimentary version of this. But when you get all sexual and you do all crazy, fucking Vitali, Fausto, or like Edon stuff, like that's when you go like surfacing. And then you put all the chamfers and you're like, fucking, Dynamesh, awesome, fucking super, like, suck it, Fusion 3D, and then you get all crazy, dude. This is when you fucking, you wow people with all the other sexual stuff that's happening in conjunction with the basics of understanding mechanics. Because, when people look at, like mechs or robots, it's the anatomy of the machine. So you're not gonna, completely reinvent that wheel. It's the basic anatomy of a mech. So it's just how you combine things and how you redress it and make it your own.
If you look at the mech as a volume, right? Would you consider like the 30-70 ratio for detail at all, or don't think about that shit?
In terms of like detail, absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you have like, let's say you have like some sort of big ass box mech here, right? And for a fact that somewhere here I want to have some legs or something, like dirt, whatever, some like industrial mechanica fucking rip off here. But we know for a fact that like if I say, I want to have some mechanics here, then you're gonna place it in areas of joints or where you're gonna imagine the joints to be, and that can be basically here, 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 and here, right? And then you bring in some logic by saying, well, the head is going to spin, the knees or this part of the joint is going to turn, and this is going to be your detail, right? And this is basically only 20% of the detail of the mech, and the 80% is just really surfacing. It's just kind of like, it's like the exterior of your car, right? It's like the paneling of your car. It's just like, like when you look at cars, you're not going to just fucking drive around without a hood, right? Even though you want to see all the engine and shit, but it's like that's kind of the way I think about details for a mech. The logical side of it is that even though you want to show off all the mechanics, you're realistically only going to cover or reveal the areas where it needs that breathing room for locomotion or for movement. And then the rest is going to be covered underneath kind of the mechanics of it all. And then, yeah, man, I mean, that's kind of...
Shit goes deep.
Shit goes fucking deep, dude.
Deep as fuck.
Deep as... It gets so fucking nerdy, dude. I know we can... I can talk about this shit, but it's when I'm listening to myself talk about this shit, it's really fucking nerdy. And maybe we can do this another time, but...
Definitely. No, it's good, man. Interesting to hear your take on it.
Yeah, dude. Thanks. Thank you.
Well, that about wraps it up then.
So, do you guys want to do one more question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last one says...
Penis, dude. Penis,
I'm
Mac.
just going to take one random one. It says, "Hi, guys. I'm about to build my first portfolio. How do I build a portfolio regarding subject matters, what the industry looks for, or how to make it look consistent without being random?"
Ooh. I mean, I'll give you my quick answer. I'll say, figure out exactly what you want to do, meaning like what part of the pipeline you want to work in. Even within concept, there is environment design and also character design. I would try to cater your portfolio to one or the other. And the other thing I would also, to add to that, I would say, try to figure out which special.
Thank you.
That was weird, man. Shit.
I tried to be quiet, but I was like, oh shit.
I would say, try to figure out like which studio you want to work for, because I think stylistically that can kind of be a driving force, for like how realistic versus stylized you should make your portfolio. What do you guys think? Shit, man.
Oh, I want to add that, like, it sounded in the question like he said, like, what is the industry looking for? So you're, like, positioning yourself in kind of like a service type of thing. But I would encourage, like, don't ask yourself what the industry is looking for, but create that thing that the industry ends up wanting.
Oh, God, dude, that's deep, dude.
I mean, that's my take.
That's
Like,
pretty
do what
gangster.
you like, dude. And then if it's good enough, people will come and bite the candy.
That is gangster as hell, dude.
It's very gangster.
Mm.
Very
What do you think,
gangster.
Mache?
It's coming back to that original question about
Resilience.
And I agree. I mean, if you can, then do it. Then you will be next Aaron Beck. So if you can make it happen, then make it happen, because that will put you in a place where everybody will want you, because everybody, like, there's going to be one moment when someone discovers your art, is like, oh shit, let's do that. And from there, it's like everyone is like, oh shit, let's do that, right? And it's just gonna be like copying of what you've done before.
Yeah,
I would say put in portfolio things that you like to do in the first place.
Yeah.
And if you're really craving for work, then obviously, put some pieces that will make it look like you can do that kind of stuff. But always put up front something that you're happy to work with, like something that is not going to be boring for you to do. Like if you start a job that is a boring thing to do, you're going to hate it.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably the worst experience you're going to have. So try avoiding that. Like try avoid putting up work in your portfolio that you really hate doing or you're not best at, because what's going to happen is someone will pick your services just because of that one thing that you've put in portfolio, and it's just gonna suck. You might find yourself in a loop of shitty projects just because of that one thing. So,
that's such a good point to bring up. And if I had that kind of I guess knowledge or some sort of, like, if I knew that when I was starting out, I think I would have probably been in a different place. But I think I remember starting out, I just wanted to get my foot in the door. That was my mentality.
Same.
And by no means was I like dude, oh, I'm fucking awesome, man. People are gonna hire me regardless. You know, I was just, I was scared shitless, man. I had to pay. I'm still paying for fucking student loans, but I'm like, oh my god, I got bills to pay, and like, how am I gonna get a fucking job, dude? Because I think the reality of like that, like being in that mindset, you know, when you're coming out of school or you're trying to figure out your life, like it's really scary.
Definitely.
And you know, I was on a different boat. I was more like, dude, what can I do to just get a job? You know, that was my mentality. I was straight up. I wasn't even trying to carve a path for myself. I was like, how can I get into that studio as a fucking coffee maker, dude? Like, you know, because I think by getting my foot into the doors of a studio, then I can have the comfort and say, okay, I'm here. Now what am I gonna make of it? You know? So that was kind of my experience with, you know, starting off and getting work and stuff. Because I just didn't have the skill sets. I didn't have the knowledge or the network or the, you know, the outreach to be able to just be like, you know, I'm gonna do what I want to do and building an awesome portfolio, and people are gonna fucking just hire me just because I didn't know that, you know, and I was scared to not know if that was gonna actually happen. So I took the other route of like, I'm gonna be a fucking ortho concept artist, man. So I did fucking like vehicle orthos and vehicle props and shit for what do you
Like a
call it?
boss.
For like a
Like a
boss.
house.
I own that shit, man. I own that shit, you know. But I did it for other companies like Universal and Blur, and that was kind of the basis of my job. And it was not the most like, yeah, man, this is what I do. It was like, you know, it got me by, and you
It's
know,
dirty work, but you know, you
Yeah.
gotta do it. You know?
exactly. It was like
good.
work, and but I think from that point I was like, I don't want this to stop. I don't want this to be the end of the road. This is just the beginning of my new chapter. So I just kind of continued on from there. But yeah, I mean that's I just wanted to kind of chime in on that because, you know, I had a very different experience, and I think all experiences are pretty fucking valid. And I think what you guys said is very powerful. And I wish you guys were there to mention that to me during my earlier days of.
Oh, I so wish there was so many people mentioning so many things when I was young.
Dude, I wish like guys like Steve Messing was like right next to me, or like
Oh
like
man.
you know, Kang Lee or like James Pei, because like those guys taught me so much fucking shit, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but photo bashing and a couple of Last of Us paintings in your set, it's fine for a standard portfolio.
Yes. Fuck, man.
Well, gotta do what you gotta do, man. Gotta do what you gotta
Exactly.
do.
Yeah, I'm not hating, just making fun. It's fine.
No, it's alright. I know you're hating. No, I'm
Mhm.
joking.
Peanut
Alright.
butter jealous, man. God
Jealous. No, it's okay, man. It's okay. Let people be jealous. Let
Oh,
people
damn.
speak their mind. Speak their mind. No, it's true what you said. Like, you know, it's all about experiences and like everything we've mentioned so far in terms of experience, in terms of resilience, where you're coming from and what you've done and how it's really relating to what you do and how you wish you could change it. It's all really sort of relevant, and
Because,
it's like
dude,
everyone's gonna be different, right? Everyone is gonna have a
Yeah.
different path. So
Exactly.
anytime you're asking yourself like, is there that, can I find that golden answer that will just basically, you know, be a breaking point for me? No, you will probably not, but you can take the advice of someone who already done this many times and failed, and then basically just run with it and just make it your own thing.
Yeah, I mean, because if I can say something, like, I feel that there's a going trend, you know, and I don't want to be fucking ageist, dude, you know, because I'm part of this generation too, where, like, you know, we're chasing the dream and we're trying to go at 1,000,000 miles per hour. But I honestly feel like you know, a lot of the new generation of artists that I see don't take the time to slow down and just even take a smaller opportunity, you know? It's always like shoot for the fucking stars or die, you know? That's it. It's like too extreme in my from my point of view. And it was never like that, you know? Like, you know, Mache, you know, I've heard your stories. I mean, you used to be like fucking like what? You used to like fucking be a plumber and shit. You used to have like blue collar job, right?
I was janitor.
Electrician?
You're a janitor, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, and you know, like I'm sure your first art job wasn't like fucking out of the blue. Like it wasn't
It
Last
was-
of Us. It
It was a
wasn't
piece of shit.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit job, but it was the best piece of shit job you could have fucking got because it taught
course.
you what you wanted versus what
At
you
the time.
didn't. Yeah, at the time.
Exactly.
At the time, you know, and I think that's the thing is I want to spread the word and encourage people to be like, you know what, it's okay to have a piece of shit job for your first job, you know. It's like I think everyone should somewhat experience that, you know, and not to just immediately have to just, oh, you know, like if I don't get into Riot, then I'm never gonna fucking work in this industry. Like, you know, I think you should try to build your portfolio so you can get somewhere so you can get some fucking experience, man, and then figure out what you want to become. Because I feel like there's this weird precedent of like students and like young artists that just like, oh well, I saw so and so just got a job at fucking Riot first off the bat, so that's what I have to do. If I don't do that, then, you know, I'm not gonna do it, you know, or, you know, nothing else. I'm not.
It's not realistic, yeah.
It's not realistic, dude. You know, that's the thing. It's just it's like setting these unrealistic expectations, and, you know, like that's fucking hard, man. You know, it's not cool. But anyways, I'm sure I blabbered on.
Yeah, you did. No, I'm joking. No, it was a great conversation. Let's wrap it up because it's still,
Fuck yeah,
it's
dude.
still longer than what we normally do.
Yeah.
But it's
everyone
John, man.
who's-
It's cool.
I straight up
yes,
need to
of
take
course,
the
of course.
biggest dump, dude. Like seriously.
You just came from work, and I'm like
I straight up came
bugging
from-
you. Where are you, motherfucker?
I was like, holy shit! I need to fucking get out of here. I need to go, man. I was in the car and you're text messaging me, and I was like, holy shit, I'm almost there, dude.
No,
Just jump
easy.
on the
Go
computer.
take your shit,
Made it.
or make your shit,
It's
or
gonna be epic, dude. It's gonna be
Yeah,
more
just make
epic
an
than
epic one.
than this piece of crap painting here. Doing.
And I know everyone is asking like, oh man, it was. So we want to do it more often. It's just like I need my guests, and I also need to find time for this because amongst other things that I'm doing. I believe we have James Pake. That's probably gonna be next, and we're
So
just gonna
nice.
figure out
Yeah.
what time and what day. Well, you know, keep announcing, and after that, I have some more interesting people to talk with. I'm already talking with more because I want to do a little more of that. I miss doing art cafes. I think it was really cool stuff that we've been
Mhm.
doing so far, and hopefully it's a helpful thing for art community.
Get
But it's
Craig
just like
Owens.
I'm splitting times here between this and Twitch streams, which I do want to do regularly. So in essence, I kind of want to do a regular thing, whether it's going to be an art cafe, another episode, or a Twitch stream. That's probably going to happen. Well, not probably, surely going to happen next week. So just stay tuned. I'll keep announcing, and then we'll keep going. Before we move out from this conversation, I want to show this. This is John's Patreon page. If you like what he's doing,
My God.
and if you love his work, I mean, he's
Shameless
fucking-
plug.
Come on, dude, you're awesome. So why not? You're doing awesome work, and I mean, if you want to support his efforts and make him paint more, then fucking do that, please. If not,
Awesome.
then fuck it. Like just literally and
Otherwise, you won't paint anymore. You know?
yeah, just it's either support or fuck. Anyhow, thanks for everyone who joined us
guys.
live, and this is gonna be online, obviously. So you can if you joined later or during the mid time or whatever, or towards the end, or you've missed some parts of the conversation, don't worry. Just go on the Art Cafe channel right after this stream ends. I believe it takes an hour or so for it to convert or whatever,
Mm.
and then it's just gonna be available on the channel. So it's just gonna be there.
Yeah, thanks
All
for
right.
dropping me in, Mache, and nice to meet you once again, John.
Dude, nice to meet you, man.
It was awesome.
You
So,
are a
yeah.
talented bastard. Keep kicking ass.
That's fine.
Cool. Yeah,
Yes.
dude, you're a talented asshole. I can tell you that.
All right. Yeah.
Keep kicking.
But yeah, anyway, it was awesome, guys. I got to keep working. So I'll see you guys later. Cheers.
Yep.
Thanks,
Take care,
man.
dude.
Cheers.
Ah,
And take care, guys. Till the next time. Peace.
Peace.
all right. See ya.